folks, I'm Dan, host of the Rock Nerd Radio Show here on YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. In one of the final reviews that I'm doing for this year, I'm going to be taking a look at a wave of Marvel Legends figures which featured something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue, as well as a black costume Spider-Man and a Wolverine who I couldn't really fit into this rhyme. So yes, we are taking a look at the full Retro Card Secret Wars wave today on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.
Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.
So it may have sounded like a joke, but I wasn't kidding. I am literally doing things like that old wedding rhyme. We're going to start with something old, and I am calling this Iron Man something old because we kind of already have this Iron Man figure. There are a couple new accessories with this figure that we will go over, but just to give you a look at the packaging, which is the same for all the Secret Wars figures, you do have the nice Marvel Legends series Secret Wars. I forget what the original one said. Maybe it just said Marvel Superhero Secret Wars, but it didn't have Legend series. The old package is just a really cool thing. I love the original Secret Wars toy line. It is my favorite toy line of all time. But here's Iron Man looking pretty cool. You can see he comes with his roller skates, which do have more of a purpose than just being roller skates. You see the additional hands, blast effects, smoke effects, secret shield, a really cool nod to the original toy line. This piece too. We'll go through everything in a minute, but here's the back of the package if you want to see it. And here's a nice little cutout of Iron Man. One cool thing to point out is it does mention that Iron Man is harboring a secret about his identity, because in the Secret Wars comics, this isn't Tony Stark, this is James Rhodes. Let's get him out. So here is Iron Man out of the package, and as you can see, this is the same Iron Man that we've had since the Marvel Legends 80th Marvel Anniversary Iron Man figure. This is the same one as that AI hologram armor Iron Man. Nothing new here in terms of Iron Man, but it does look very cool. It looks very 80s and cartoony. The Secret Wars Iron Man figure, definitely a bright yellow and red, so just really connecting to that. But in terms of articulation, he is looking up, he is looking down, and you know, that's it says on a ball joint, so that's with the disc there. So that's really what we're looking at. Waist is going to turn. We have ab crunch forward, back. We have arms that go around and out. We have rotation at the elbow. We have double jointed elbow. Rotation at the shoulder, double jointed elbow. We also, and I will say, I don't know about everybody else's. This is not clicking on mine. This is a very, very loose joint. You can kind of see how it clicks on other parts, but on that, like this arm has to click at both parts of that elbow joint. There we go. This one, that upper elbow joint, not clicking, and I'm wondering if that is a widespread problem or just mine, but something that we might want to be on the lookout for. Wrist does spin. This hand can swivel in and out. Legs go forward, no real back to them. We get splits. We get rotation at the thigh, double jointed clicky knee, boot cut, which is always nice, foot rotation, front facing pin there, and the ankle articulation. So everything you would come to expect in a Marvel Legends figure. I think this might be one of the more boring ones, because if you've been collecting long enough, anytime in the past 5 years, you've probably picked up this Iron Man or some version of this Iron Man. There are some neat things that kind of set this out from some other Iron Men, which we'll talk about, and it's really in his accessories. So first, he does have the blasty hands, which do have that peg hole there, so you can stick a blast effect on it if you want to, like that, so you can have the blast effect going. You can also have a smoking effect, which if you find the peg hole, which is right here by my fingertip here, you can put the, it is back here. There you go. There's the smoke effect. You can put that on the hand as well, as if he just got done discharging some energy. Looks pretty neat. I kind of like the blast effects that swirl around the energy effect. Kind of miss those, but that's okay. I don't really display them with the blast effects unless I'm putting them in more of an action shot. Also, Iron Man has these roller skates, and no, these weren't just, hey, it was the 70s or something and Iron Man was trying to disco. These actually had a point in the original comics. These roller skates could be used to help Iron Man recharge his battery and his armor, and they could also help him reach land speeds of over 200 miles an hour, which is pretty impressive. Now, with that said, these roller skates do just peg into his feet, and they kind of sit relatively flush. They just kind of look like they came out there on his feet. So you can, I was gonna say you can get him in some dynamic positions, but just make sure he is posed where he's not going to fall over, like you just saw. Looks pretty cool. The wheels do not spin, which I think is kind of a bummer. It would have been nice, but they are just one molded piece of plastic. There is one other set of accessories that I want to talk about that I really like. There's a number of accessories I want to talk about, but he does come with this alternate right hand, which is a grip hand, and this is probably my favorite thing on the figure. The reason why I ended up buying the figure, because the original Secret Wars Iron Man figure had an open grip hand, and this does hinge up and down, so that, you know, he's like pointing the blaster or something. So the way this original figure worked, he had a gripping hand and a fist. And with that gripping hand, he had a blaster you could stick in it. And this is a 6-inch recreation of that original blaster. So there we go. You can display your Iron Man just like the original Secret Wars Iron Man if you want. Why does Iron Man need this giant blaster? Because it's accurate to the toy. That's why. I'm definitely going to display him with this. I think it is awesome that he came with this. I would love to get like 6 of these and just have them for all my Secret Wars guys. But yeah, looks really, really cool. And for a figure that otherwise is just a reuse of things we've already seen, this blaster makes me really happy, especially because I love that original toy line. The other thing that this Iron Man comes with, which is a nod to the original toy line, is the secret shield, which if you move around, you can see it shows Iron Man and Tony Stark. I hope that's coming across on the camera because it looks like it is. But yeah, these are what the original Secret Wars figures had. They all came with these shields that would open up, and you could put different lenticular slides in there. Of course, now I can't get this to open. There you go. You open it up. The original ones were double-sided. This is not. If you don't want the lenticular there, you can put in this Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars 40th Anniversary piece as well. That is entirely up to you. I'm going to see if I can fit both in, just so nothing goes missing. So here is the lenticular. I will say, too, the original shield had like a piece that would kind of help decipher the lenticular. This is printed on the card. So that is something to look out for. So I'm going to put the other piece in here as well, just so they're both in here together. I'm going to close it up. And it seems like they do fit, maybe not as snugly. Maybe I don't need the Secret Wars 40th Anniversary card in there. Yeah, they definitely fit better with one. There you go. Give it a nice little squeeze. It's going to stay closed. These shields are, of course, the clip-style shield, so they have the little C-clip there. They also have the peg that you could use to have the character hold. I am hesitant to really clip these on too many because these clips tend to break, and this clip looks really small. I mean, putting it on Iron Man's wrist, you can, but that connection does not feel good. And also, then he has his face sideways. I guess you could always rotate the lenticular, but there's Iron Man with his secret shield. I might display him with the secret shield because it is such a nod to the original toy line. I actually do have a Secret Wars display going, and in it, I have the Iron Man that I have. I think it was the hologram armor Iron Man, but I have him with James Rhodes' head on it, holding the Iron Man helmet, because like I said, in the Secret Wars comic, it was Rhodey under the armor. So I thought that was a pretty cool way to do it. I'll probably do the same to this, maybe, I'm thinking, because this is so toy accurate. I don't know how much I want to change, but, there we go. Overall, pretty neat. We are going to just kind of put Iron Man off on the side here, and we are going to keep on going with something new. And that something new would be Titania. She is a new figure to the line, new figure to Marvel Legends. We've never gotten this figure before, so let's take a look at her. So here's Titania out of the package. She looks really cool. I am very impressed that they gave us a figure with these sculpted spikes on her boots and arms. It does beg the question, hey, can we do a Rachel Summers Phoenix with these spikes? I'd really like that. But this is a figure I've been hoping for quite some time. I got bored back in like 2020 and made a custom Titania. Not nearly as beefy and big and muscular as this figure. It was on that A4 She-Hulk body, so not the best. But looking at this figure, the paintwork looks really nice. There is something that bothers me right out of the gate, and it is this pinkish shade right here, because her costume has more of a flesh tone here. In fact, there's no fabric there. It is just skin. I guess they thought maybe that would be too risque to put out on toy shelves. I don't know. Is it the worst change? No. I think it still looks like the character. It still looks fine. I think if you wanted like a truly Secret Wars accurate version of this, where this character first appeared, they would have done it. But I'm not designing toys. I'm not working for Hasbro. Anyway, looking at the figure's articulation, this head is on a ball joint, I want to say, and because of the hair, we can't get a lot of backwards movement. We do have some forward movement, but it looks a little funky, and in order to kind of have her looking straight, you do have to arch her back a little bit. Getting to the body, nothing at the waist, but we do have that ball joint at the midsection, so she can crunch forward and back and then swivel and kind of, you know, pose in different ways. Plastic quality on this, very good, by the way. I know I complained a little bit with the Blackheart Build-A-Figure wave on the plastic quality. This feels like some really good plastic. Moving the arms around, they will rotate, they will go out, and, you know, the spike even goes right up to the shoulder there on both these arms, so you can still get a lot of movement range on her arms. She does have rotation up there at the bicep. She does have double-jointed elbows, nice deep bend there. And at her wrists, with these fists, we do have, of course, rotation, and then the in and out movement. She does also have open hands. It looks like these also are on the in and out type movement, but they are a very small peg, and I'm a little nervous to move these because I don't want to break that peg. But for a character like this, I kind of envision her punching, you know, people anyway. So going down to the legs, these legs are very interesting because, of course, they're going to move forward like your legs will, and they are going to give us some deep splits there. But nothing at the thigh, if you've seen it, doesn't mean she doesn't have thigh rotation. Instead, they hit it here at the boot cut. So because the boots are like knee-high boots, she rotates above her knee, which I think is a cool way to incorporate the articulation and not break up the overall look of the figure. I really like that idea. I think that's pretty cool. It hides that joint very nicely. Double jointed knees, so she can kick backwards. Forward facing pin in the foot. So we are going to have some up and down and then rocker action as well. Really like the look of this figure. I really like the gold belt here. And like I said, I really like the spike details. It kind of gives me hope that maybe we can get a Rachel Summers Phoenix. Not parts reuse, I hope not, because Rachel Summers isn't quite as muscular and big as Titania, but still looks really, really cool. I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous we were going to get a Titania figure from the She-Hulk TV series, which would not have been my preferred version at all. I'm glad we got this. She does come with, I already kind of showed, but she does have two open hands as well. They are gripping hands, move just like her fists. I will say her fists do seem angled a little weirdly. Maybe you just have to kind of play with them. But they almost seem like they're pointing down, which is a little strange. But anyway, she also has a secret shield. And again, if you move it up and down, there's her unmasked face, masked face. Not the most exciting one, not a whole lot changing there. And the villains do come with a square shield, as they did originally in the Secret Wars toy line. We also have this insert as well. So that's Titania. Looks pretty cool overall. Like, honestly, like I said, I really like how they hid the boot cut here on the legs. And I like the paintwork. I like the belt. My biggest gripe would be that this isn't, you know, just straight up flesh. But and the argument almost doesn't make sense because, like, hey, she's got a little bit of her butt sticking out. Why couldn't we have, you know, this bare material or no material here on the chest? I don't know. But anyway, we're just going to leave her back here for now. Like I was saying, something old, something new. We're going to talk about something borrowed in the Beyonder. So here is the all-powerful Beyonder out of the package, and the reason why I'm calling him something borrowed is because he's not in the original Secret Wars story in this form. Yes, his power is there, he is there, but he doesn't look like this. This look comes from Secret Wars 2, where he tries to, like, learn about humanity. This is an interesting figure. You know, I get why the Marvel Legends team put him into the Secret Wars wave. I'm going to be the first to admit I didn't think we needed him. I would have been fine if this figure came later or came in a or like even a second Secret Wars wave. I feel like we could have gotten a really, I'm going to say, like, almost more important character from Secret Wars. Maybe. I don't know. Like, what else could they have given us? Someone else from the original toy line. My money was also on Volcana. I would have loved to have gotten a Volcana figure. But we'll see. This isn't the worst figure, but looking at his costume, it's him in this, like, power suit. And not like a suit that gives him power. It's like an 80s power suit, disco suit. I don't know what to call this. I was born in the mid 80s. So anyway, here he is. There's not a whole lot to talk about. It's white. You got his bare chest, you got his skin, and otherwise his suit is just kind of various shades of white. Some nice texture to it. He's got puffy sleeves, kind of like that Seinfeld episode. But there we go. I don't have a ton to say about the way this character looks. In terms of articulation, we do have just a ball joint at the neck there. You can kind of see the gap. So it is that, ball to stick in there. So you can make him kind of, headbang a little bit, discover his humanity through rock and roll. But he can look around. He can kind of tilt his head a little bit too. So some nice movement there, and a pretty cool looking smile on his face. In terms of the body, we have that inverted ball joint system. The coat feels like an overlay to the figure. You can even see a little bit of it. But he does allow for some twisting and swiveling and a little bit of forward and back, not a ton. In terms of the arms, they are going to go all the way around, and they are going to go out this far. We have bicep swivel, we have double jointed elbows, and we also have wrist swivel with these hands. Hands are going to swivel in and out, swing in and out as well. He does have another set of hands. We'll talk about them in a minute. In terms of the legs, they are going to go forward, not even all the way fully forward. His pants kind of stop that from going all the way forward. Nothing in terms of backwards movement. He can get a pretty deep split going there. He does have rotation at the calf. He does have double jointed knee, and you can get some real deep bend there. Bringing it back down, he has nothing at the boot cut. I was expecting boot cut to be there, as you just saw me trying to twist it. But forward-facing pin there at the foot so that they will swivel up and down and left to right. Huzzah, it's the Beyonder. He comes with some things in terms of accessories that they're neat. We'll start by showing off his additional hands. These are your kind of standard Marvel Legends open power hands or something. You can swap them in and out. There are also this planet thing that is Battleworld. Is Battleworld being constructed as if he were the god, constructing it in his hands. It is a very cool touch to the figure. If anything, it kind of reminds me more of the Jonathan Hickman written Secret Wars from the mid-2010s. Looks neat. Now, I don't know if I'm going to display him holding it. It does look like there might be some finger grooves along parts of this that he can kind of get his hands on. I can't find them now. Like right here, maybe. I don't know. I thought I saw something before. Maybe not now that I'm kind of investigating this close up. But it does look cool. If you have him looming over a Secret Wars display, he's bringing Battleworld together. That would be a cool little nod to his power. But like I said, this isn't even from the original Secret Wars toy line. This is from the Secret Wars 2 story. He, of course, does have a secret shield. There's his powered up form and his human form. So God, human. And also, again, that Secret Wars 40th part, labeling him as a bad guy, giving him that square shield. So there's the Beyonder. Hey, he looks pretty cool. But like I said, next would be something blue. And that blue is Captain America. You can see already quite a bit of stuff in the package, some interesting stuff in the package. Let's get him out so we can really see what this version of Captain America is all about. And here is Captain America looking very bright blue, sculpted chainmail star laid over that. Reminds me of the Secret Wars Captain America figure because it was a nice bright blue. You know, it was the 80s. It was a time where things were a little more superhero-y and brighter. At least that's how I always saw it. So I don't mind Captain America being so bright, but one hell of a happy smile on that figure. There's also an angry head, which you can see here. I guess this would be charging into battle Captain America, perhaps. Standing on a shelf, this might be the head I go with. It almost is a little too happy, I feel like. So I don't know what head I'm going to use on this figure when I display it. But looking at the figure, you can see that, like I said, there's some nice sculpted chainmail here. You can feel it if you run your fingers along it. Nice costume seam for the neck piece as well. The A is sculpted, the star is sculpted, the wings come out, his ears come out. Just looks great, and then all that continues on to the back where he has more sculpted chainmail of the star and the hole there that you can plug a shield into, which we will talk about. But of course, then the chainmail stops for the stripe part, and all this has seam lines to it too. So really, really cool looking Captain America. Nice belt piece as well, moving down the figure. Your standard Captain America type legs with the boots that you're probably used to. Same with the arms, although the tops of the arms do have the chainmail going as well. So it shows like that is a straight line at some point, not just stopping at the elbows. Looks really cool. In terms of articulation, yes, this one is on the disc to ball joint. So you can get a lot of up and down on there because it's a ball joint. You're going to get some waggle as well. And the head can spin all around. We have back for the ab crunch and forward. Also, at the body, we do have full torso rotation. At the arms, they are going to go all the way around, and they go out just like that. We do have bicep swivel right here, and it feels nice. It doesn't click. It moves very smoothly. The plastic doesn't feel like it's rubbery or going to shear, which I like. Double jointed elbows, so there we go there. We also have rotating hands, and, they will swivel in and out. There are some other hand options. We'll talk about that as we go. Down at the legs. Legs are going out that far for a nice split. Legs are not going to be able to move back, but they can move forward. And then, of course, we have that nice thigh rotation. Double jointed knee. Boot cut right here. And forward-facing peg at the foot, so it moves up and down. And we get the rocker left and right. Looks really cool. Just a happy Captain America. It's almost like hammy in a way, but I like it. I do like this Captain America. In terms of accessories, I already showed you, but I'll show you once again. He does have the angry kind of Captain America head. To show you what it looks like on the figure, it's of course just a simple pop and swap. There we go. And God, now that I have it on, I think I kind of like the angry head. So that might be the display option. There are some hands. Of course, he has the pointing hand, which you might be used to if you've ever held a recent Captain America figure. It does move in and out, that hand. There's also two gripping hands, which is again, I kind of want to get more of those blasters that Iron Man has and have Cap with a gripping hand holding one of those blasters. I think that'd be very cool. He also has the salute hand as well. Or, you could have him karate chop. That is up to you. But, yeah, the salute hand is there. He has a secret shield, which shows Captain America and Steve Rogers. So there we go. No shenanigans with his identity during Secret Wars. It was Steve Rogers all the way. Of course, there is also that Secret Wars 40th insert as well if you want that. Last but not least, Cap does have a broken, cracked, destroyed shield that has two other pieces to it that, you can kind of get to fit together. So, there's a piece here. Sorry, that should probably be on camera. I can't quite get it to go perfectly. There's another piece in my hand. I'm not really sure where it's supposed to go. Maybe here, so something like this. They don't snap together in any way that I can tell. So it might be a nice display piece to have, the pieces at his feet or something and holding the broken shield, but I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. Of course, the broken shield does come from the Secret Wars story, So maybe it's, something that I'm going to display him with. I can just kind of have him holding it, maybe looking a little defeated. I don't know. I don't know if I want him. It is story specific, but it's not specific to the original toy, who actually didn't even have a Captain America shield. Actually, when I was a kid, my parents had a color printer, and on MS Paint, I drew a Captain America shield that I printed out the right size and put in the Secret Wars shield. When we had the internet, I eventually found a picture of Captain America's shield that I printed out, made the right size, put in the Secret Shield, and I still have it there to this day. So my Captain America is sporting a Captain America shield in a way. So again, I don't know if I want this to be toy accurate or if I want this to be story accurate. I don't quite know. I like the idea of a broken shield. At the same time, I probably have about 20 extra Captain America shields that I could give him if I just want him to hold like an actual Captain America shield. This is a neat touch, and I am going to leave it on him for the remainder of this video. So there we go. Now, I did mention that while I have something old and something new and something borrowed from a different story and something blue, because he's blue in his costume, there are 2 more figures from this wave. So let's take a look at the black costume Spider-Man next. So we'll just get him right out of the package and have him ready to go. This is on the, I believe, Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man body. And I do have to say, I don't have that figure. I think my first exposure to it is on the Kid Omega body. So it is good for like a decent like teen-sized buck. As you can see, he is definitely shorter than Captain America, showing Spider-Man at a bit of a younger age. But yeah, so this is a really cool body for like an agile teen, slender kind of character. Looking at it, it's Black Costume Spider-Man. We get a fantastic looking black costume symbol on there. The spider symbol looks great on the back. The eyes look great. And of course, we have the triangles on the wrist that does carry over onto all the additional hands. There are some other accessories that we are going to talk about. Just to say it, in terms of articulation, I'm sorry, before we get to articulation, everything else is black. There's not much else to talk about. So, but in terms of articulation, disc to ball joint there, so he's going to look up, look down, head's going to spin around, and a little bit of wiggle and waggle there. The body, I do like this body style because he has the articulation there at the midsection, or at the at the diaphragm joint, and then has deeper crunch down here. Now, I will say, as much as he can move, this one here seems a little stuck, and I don't want to keep turning it because I don't want to shear that peg, because then he's going to split in half. He does have shoulders that move in and out, arms that are going to rotate completely around, and arms that are going to go out just about that far. Is that right? Yeah, they don't even go fully out there, but not bad. We do have rotation at the bicep, and we have double jointed elbows. Nice to see too, especially on a skinnier kind of arm. And of course, the hands are going to spin around and then move left to right. Going down to the legs, these legs not going back, but they are kicking forward and they are kicking out pretty nicely. We have thigh rotation. We have double jointed knee, which joint is a little stuck on mine. There we go. Just a little force and it goes. What I am impressed with is that there is boot cut here as well. So while there's no like sculpted detail here, there is still boot cut. And then of course, forward facing pin on that foot. So they're going to go up, down, and then left and right as well. And because this is more of an agile character, more of a, character who's going to jump around, you can get him into some really neat kind of jumping around poses. I do like this Spider-Man quite a bit. And I do like the body. I don't know. I have to go back and read Secret Wars again, because I feel like Spider-Man wasn't quite a teenager at the time. This was the 80s. Was he even married to Mary Jane at the time? He may have been. I feel like this body style might be a little too small. While I'm happy it's on the Amazing Fantasy 15 body, because it sets it out, it's not just another black costume Spider-Man like the retro card one, which you might already own. It does give you something different. I feel like he's a little too small. But looking at his accessories, he has some cool ones. There is this alternate head with the more kind of angry eyes. A lot of people going crazy for this. I like it. However, the way I have my black costume Spider-Man displayed on my display space is in like the Secret Wars cover pose where he got the costume for the first time, which goes into his other accessories because, yes, he does have thwippy hands. So he has his web shooter hands, which he wouldn't really have needed to use because of the way the black costume worked. They have the triangles on them. But he also has the open hands. And if you've seen that cover, if you know that cover, you know that his hands are open. So I'm going to give him the open hands right now. And maybe twist him around a bit to kind of put him in that famous cover pose. And there we go. It's not bad for a quick recreation of the cover. Not exact either, but close enough for now. But considering I'm reviewing 6 figures in one shot, this is what you're getting. So here's Black Costume Spider-Man. Pretty cool. Love the articulation. As I said, just feels like he probably should have been maybe a little bigger. I'm sorry, I did also forget to show you. Secret Shield. Hey, look. It's Peter Parker. And now it's Black Costume Spider-Man. And Peter Parker and Black Costume Spider-Man. I could sit here and do this all day. Also has the cardboard insert for the Secret Wars 40th anniversary. Like everybody else, we have one more figure to look at. So let's take a look at the Wolverine from this wave. Well, so finally, here is the Wolverine from this wave. And again, kind of short, but Wolverine's supposed to be short, so I'm okay with that. Very bright in costume, this Wolverine, which, would have matched the art style of Secret Wars and even the original toy line to a degree. But I really, just to bring it in close, like, there is scruff on that face. He looks like he hasn't shaved in a while. He's been on Battleworld, couldn't get a hold of a good razor. Just looks really cool. I think, not 100% sure, but I think this is on a similar body to the X-Men 97 Wolverine. This is a really nice looking Wolverine. He currently doesn't have his claws out. We'll get there in a minute. But just to go over the detail of the figure, of course, we have the nice brown stripe going down. Almost looks like a reddish brown here. The yellow here. The belt done up nicely in full red with the gold on it. On his wrist, we have, the spots where the claws can come out. Nicely painted arm hair. And it is sculpted. I take that back. That is some sculpted arm hair. So looks fantastic. And, it feels like arm hair on him. Legs look really nice. The way the shorts are done, the way the boots are done. Everything on this Wolverine screams my childhood at me. In terms of articulation, disc to ball joint. Head can go up and down and around and a little bit of some waggle in there. At the body, we do have rotation and we do have back and forward at the midsection. Shoulders are going to be able to move in and out. We do have those butterfly joints. Arms are going to rotate. Oh boy, this feels stuck. There we go. Arms rotate, but that was a little scary. That felt like that was going to shear off, and it feels the same on both arms, so I'm probably not going to be rotating his arms all that much. Really don't want to have an armless Wolverine, but elbows do have double joint on them. Because of the way, how kind of stubby they are and his musculature, you don't get a deep bend. You can if you kind of finagle it, but there you go. And of course, there is bicep swivel as well, and the arms go out that much. Forgot to show all that. And the wrists rotate all the way around, left and right. So there we go. Moving down to the legs, nothing really back, a little bit of back, but not a lot. Forward, we're going to get a lot. Splits, we get some nice splits. We do have rotation at the thigh. We have that double jointed knee. We do have a lot of boot cut. I was going to say a little bit, but it will twist all the way around. That is impressive. And the boot is hiding the joint too, which is nice. And then we have the forward-facing pin there at the ankle for up and down and for ankle rocker movement. Looks very cool. The plastic on this one feels a little cheaper when compared to the other ones. There's something about this one that kind of makes me a little nervous about its overall ability to last for a while. Now, there is a really cool Wolverine alternate head here. I don't know, is this the X-Men 97 head? I probably should have pulled it out for reference, but a very cool unmasked Wolverine head. I tend to have my Wolverine wearing a mask, so there is that, but looks pretty cool. Of course, he has his secret shield, so hey, look, it's Logan. There we go. And now he's Wolverine. And, claws? No claws. Claws, no claws. All right. I'm going to do it with each one. He also has his clawed hands. So, of course, what is a Wolverine without his claws? I'm going to pop them out I did have the original Secret Wars Wolverine, and I eventually had to buy replacement claws because my brother actually owned the Wolverine, and he eventually passed it on to me, but he lost his claws. While I am happy this Wolverine has this new style of claws that I don't think really look really good, I would have liked it more to a degree if maybe there was a claw option similar to the old toy line where it was like claws that fit over his arm. I think it would have been hysterical. I think it maybe would have been a joke too far. But yeah, these overall, this looks really good. Claws look great. I like how this head has like a little smirk on it too. Looks awesome. Just really, really nice Wolverine. Nice bright colors. And in a year where they released like I don't know, 20 Wolverine figures, this is, I think, my favorite. I think this one looks just the best. It's hitting so many chords with me, whether it's because of the connection to the original toy line and story, or just the fact that it's on a really nice Wolverine body, better than I think any of the other ones we've gotten this year. This one looks really, really good. So now that I have all of the figures out and I've spoken about them, let's rank them from my least favorite to my most favorite. So I cleared the board here, but to bring in the one that I think is my least favorite, and I kind of hate to say it, but it is, and I'm not saying anybody's bad. I want to say that. I didn't say anyone's bad. I'm just ranking them my least favorite to most favorite. Least favorite is probably the Beyonder. While I like this figure, and I think it's pretty cool that we got a Beyonder, I do kind of question if he really needed to be included in this wave. Like I said, yeah, the Beyonder is the driving force behind the Secret Wars, but this look is from Secret Wars 2, and maybe I would have liked another character to be here. I don't want to say Doctor Doom because we got a really cool Secret Wars Doctor Doom in that 2-pack last year. But yeah, I feel like this would have been served as maybe somebody else, better served as somebody else. So he's going to be the number 6 figure for me in this wave. My number 5 is going to be Captain America. I like this Cap. He's cool. But I've owned so many Captain Americas. There's very little about this Captain America that feels very different to me. Yeah, the busted shield is cool, and it's very story specific. He's angry looking. You can also put that smiling head on him. I don't know. I just, yeah, again, it's Cap. And at this point, I've owned so many Captain America figures. I just don't feel like I need any more. Number 4 would be Iron Man. QC of this arm aside, this is very, very toyetic for me. And just hitting on a bunch of really cool notes. Like, I love that he has the original toy blaster. It is just so cool. And of course, you know, done up now on that 6-inch scale. Really neat, really cool. Reminds me of the original toy that I still have. I probably should have busted out my original Secret Wars figures for while I was doing this, but just looks really cool, and I'm very happy with it. So he's going to the number 4 spot because, you know, it, like, look, again, I have a couple versions of this mold already. This is just hitting all those nostalgia buttons, and that's what it comes down to. Number 3 in the wave is going to be Titania. New figure to the Marvel Legends line. Great use of like using her costume to hide her articulation. You know, biggest problem, like I said, the wrong color midsection here, but otherwise a really cool looking figure. Happy to have her on the shelf. Happy to have her in the collection. And yeah, I think, you know, just really definitely one of the standouts from this wave. Number 2 is going to be SpiderMan, black costume SpiderMan. Like I said, I really like the Amazing Fantasy 15 body. Glad they didn't just do a refresh of the retro card, you know, black costume SpiderMan. He does feel a little small to me, though. I do like how his posability, like I looked at the cover and tried to pose him up similar to the cover, so that's why he's there. Definitely an important figure to the Secret Wars toy line and the Secret Wars comic. So yeah, probably couldn't have gotten away with doing this line or, you know, without this Spider-Man. Just, you know, probably the most important thing to come out of Secret Wars. But my number 1 figure is one of my number 1 characters. It is going to be the Secret Wars Wolverine. I really like this Wolverine figure. I really love Wolverine. So that's why he's making it on here. This one just looks phenomenal. Stands out, you know, is going to be probably in my top 10 of the year already. And a few of these might be, you know, a number of these figures might be just because I love the original Secret Wars toy line. And there's a lot of nostalgia being driven home with this. So yeah, really cool. So here's the wave in full. Let me know your thoughts about the wave. Are you getting all of them? Are you skipping any of them? Are you keeping them in their package? I'd be the first to admit there were times I kind of didn't want to take some of these out of the package. And I'm even half debating maybe trying to get my hands on a second Iron Man or something to keep one in a package, maybe Wolverine, as if, you know, I'm homaging that original toy line that I love. What really would have made me go crazy was if they put out new versions of the Secret Wars figures. I don't know if Mattel owns those sculpts or something and Hasbro can't get a hold of them, but if they gave us like, even like Marvel Legends 2-packs where it was like this Marvel Legends figure and the 4-inch tall Secret Wars figure, that would have been so cool. That would have been like a dream come true. I would love to see new vintage Secret Wars figures. That would be really neat. So let me know your thoughts on these figures in the comments, and I'll talk to you next time. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. If you want to leave a like or a comment, down below underneath this video, it goes a long way to help out the channel. You know what also helps? Subscribing. That goes a long, long way. So I would really appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. You can also check out the Rock Nerd Radio Show podcast on your preferred podcast platform. It is a weekly podcast hosted by myself and my good friend Vinny. Together we discuss all different types of pop culture, whether it be comics, music, TV shows, movies, or collectibles. So check that out, once again, wherever you're going to get your podcasts. And you can also follow the Rock Nerd Radio Show on Instagram. That is the best place to interact with me. I would love it if you gave it a follow. So thanks for checking out this video. Until next time, I've been Dan. You've been pretty awesome, and I'll see you around.